Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Overlord. We are in the final room of the sewers that take us into the city of Heaven's Peak. This is the tower portal where we just carried 3 bags of gold back to it. I did off-screen getting that last bag of gold.
Intruder!
And we do have one guy to fight right here, but only one.
You killed it! Stone dead! But even 6 of us couldn't take down that fallen knight. I'm gonna tell the others.
All the other people here are just civilians, so you don't want to attack them unless you're trying to get corruption.
Get a drink. I don't want to remember anything about this place.
But here we do have 2 more knights to have to deal with. And someone here is supposed to have talked about us needing to open the drawbridge.
There's no cure for it! No cure!
Are you here to do something about the plague?
I guess it's not going to trigger. There is a conversation you can trigger here that's basically just someone talking about that they can't turn this wheel to lower the drawbridge, so they are trapped here in the city.
To do something about the plague?
But now that we have turned that, there is an opening to get back outside.
Returned from his last crusade, the city has spiraled into chaos. There are zombies everywhere. Some say demons too. And we even had to cancel the royal wedding.
Some young harlot, I imagine, with full breasts and an empty head.
Could you look into it, Lord? I should stay here. Do what I can for these folks. Some are as frightened to go as they are to stay.
Well, that's just typical of her. I mean, of her type, sire. A silly little wench, too daft to know what she's getting herself into.
So turning that wheel lowered this drawbridge, and it gives us a way to be able to actually get back to where we started this zone.
There's no cure for it! No cure!
Because right here is the portal that we very first entered this zone from. I'm going to return a couple of blues. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and return a full 5. And in their place, I'm going to get 3 more browns. And a couple of reds, since we do need to be able to deal with fire.
Have you seen the Citadel? It's guarded by flying demons.
And instead of going ahead and starting to explore here in the city, I'm going to go back into the sewers and go to the fire barrier that was in there.
Sir William used to visit the inn, and it weren't to drink there.
Browns.
And while I'm going ahead and going back to this fire barrier to do things in what seems like the most logical order for me, if you did miss it and overlook that this was down here, they do give you clues that there is something to go back for. Someone talks about the item that you would get from this area and says that it's supposed to be in the sewers, so that does give you a hint that you need to go back and look for it. So it's not as easy to accidentally overlook as it may seem with me doing it this order.
There are rumors, sire, that the royal forges connect to these catacombs. I wonder if that holier-than-thou half Sir William stole a smelter from our tower.
And after that little bit of dialogue, I'm sure you can probably guess what we're in here to get. There are a lot of breakables here on either side of us. Again, for right now, though, my minions are pretty well equipped, so I'm not going to worry about spending time breaking them. pretty much the only things you have to deal with while you're in here are zombies. There are a couple of big fights that will be challenges, but as far as while you're just wandering around in the tunnels like where I am now, it should be very easy for you. And in this little area right here, those will just keep spawning. So there's no real reason to stay down there and keep fighting all of the zombies that are busting up out of the ground. What you want to do is come up here and go ahead and get this wheel turning. And they are going to a lot of times just get stuck right there. I think they're supposed to follow you up the stairs and give you a hard time while you're trying to turn it, where you'd have to defend yourself from them for long enough to get the wheel turned. I don't know that I've ever seen them actually do it though. So you can just go ahead and go up there, turn the wheel, and then come down through here. They will just keep coming though, so you don't want to fight them for too long. You'll want to just move along, let them stay there. And I think we're about to the first big fight. Yeah, this is the first fight where there is some sort of challenge. We have a fire zombie there. He has the ranged attacks, does hit fairly hard, and as long as he is still there, he's going to keep summoning other zombies. So you want to push through this front little group of them pretty much as quickly as you can, and get out here to be able to start fighting him. Because once you can take him down, the rest of the room is pretty simple again. If you don't immediately come up here and try to deal with him first, though, you can find yourself overwhelmed by pretty big numbers and take at least some losses. I don't think there's really much of anything else in here. There are plenty of breakables again, but all throughout this area there are, so if you do need equipment, you should come out of here pretty well equipped. They also give you lots of spawning pits to be able to resummon if you need to. And right there is our smelter. In here we have two of those fiery ones though.
As I suspected, Lord. There's the Durium Smelter.
So you will want to send some minions to keep these busy, but you'll want to send the force up to deal with the fire zombies as quickly as you can afford to. They're not very tough, so just a handful of browns should be able to fight their way through them pretty quickly. And once you've killed the two of those, they'll stop spawning new zombies down here on the ground, and you'll be able to get the smelter.
Object. I like objects.
And over here we'll have a bridge that will take us back to the beginning of this area, so we don't have to go all the way back around. Turning that wheel is what created it. And right there is the tower portal. Since I'm running a little low on time for this video anyway, I'll go ahead and let them carry that there. And then this is probably where I'm going to stop for the day.
You have
In the next video, we will probably start by having teleported back from the tower. Actually, we'll probably start in the tower and look at using that smelter some. And then we'll come back to Heaven's Peak to continue on from there.